Even though the Satanic Panic of the 80s and 90s is typically viewed as existing only there within a certain time frame, it never really died.
They first gained fame locally when they tried and failed to reenact a black mass at Harvard. But lately, the Salem-based Satanic Temple has been building a national profile thanks to a series of provocative interventions in the never-ending debate over church and state in America.
All right, so you're probably going to go to hell, right?
You could say the city of Oklahoma City has made a deal with the devil. The city has rented part of the Civic Center to a local satanic church.
I believe it, and I'm very excited about it.
Right now in downtown, a satanic ritual just ended. It was the first public one ever in Oklahoma City, and it drew a lot of controversy.
Catholics showed up in force outside the Civic Center protesting the Black Mass. Some of the protesters, though, started fighting amongst themselves as different factions of Christianity collided.
The Roman Catholic Church is just as satanic as the Black Mass.
I would stand up for the right of offended Catholics to argue, to debate, to protest what was going on. What troubles me is that they weren't trying to engage in a debate. They were trying to shut down a ritual they didn't like. They were trying to drive it off campus, and they succeeded in driving it off campus. And that's the problem.
Christians by the hundreds demonstrated outside the Oklahoma City Civic Center, Christian conservatives mostly. Nearly 1,400 protesters, armed with Bibles, across a choir, children in prayer.
In some ways, it feels like people showed up for a demonstration and a carnival broke out. Every denomination of Christianity you can imagine here, traditional, non-traditional.
Members of a satanic cult performing a ritual over the grave of Westboro founder Fred Phelps' mother. Two guys kissing over the headstone, hoping to turn Phelps' dead mother gay. They say the so-called pink mass ritual is in retaliation for Westboro's attempt to protest at the funerals of the Boston bombing victims.
The Satanic Temple is now an IRS-recognized church.
Chaos and controversy caused a slight delay at tonight's Pensacola City Council meeting. A leader from a satanic temple gave the invocation. Catrice Nolan was there for the meeting that quickly got out of hand.
Who would build a statue to Satan? Well, it turns out a group of atheists wants to do exactly that.
Nearly 4 months now after crews had reinstalled the Ten Commandments monument on the Capitol grounds, the Satanic Temple came back with their own statue.
The group's rally for the First Amendment brought Satanists, Christians, even the KKK to the Capitol steps.
In denying other monuments of religious significance in Little Rock, the state can no longer claim Van Orden versus Perry as justification for the Ten Commandments monument, and in fact, the precedent supports our claim that the state is obligated to accept Baphomet at the Capitol grounds.
Devilish controversy, a statue being unveiled right here in Detroit.
But the group putting on this date with the devil is keeping some things a secret for now. 7 Action News reporter Ross Jones here with a strange story. And this is strange.
Very strange. Some have called this a publicity stunt, guys. Others say that it's just purely sinister. Whatever you want to call it, the group putting it on says you can't stop it.
Satanic Temple is actually nothing more than a group of pranksters who go around and take advantage of gullible people around the country trying to raise funds and promote the profane.
Every year, religious groups put up displays in the rotunda of the Illinois State Capitol. And one of the more controversial ones is back. The Satanic Temple of Illinois put up its display today. Every year, it spurs a conversation about the freedom of religious expression.
No manger, no little Lord Jesus. This holiday display by the Satanic Temple features a snake wrapped around a cross. It reads, "The greatest gift is knowledge," and it's coming to the state capitol.
Imagine walking into your state's capitol during the week of Christmas and seeing this monstrosity. It's a so-called art display in Illinois depicting the satanic figure Baphomet as a baby. It sits right next to the Nativity. It's so obvious what the Satanic Temple, the group who put this thing on, is doing. They are mocking religious expression and the Nativity.
Well, first of all, the devil has been trying to destroy Christmas for 2,000 years.
Satanic Temple has unveiled its holiday display in the Illinois Capitol Rotunda. Check it out here. This year's display has a crocheted snake,
It is wrapped around apples and a book. Temple members say the display is meant to bring attention to the controversy over banned books this year.
And a satanic display still is sitting in downtown Boca Raton. It caused an uproar when it showed up last week, and today some religious groups have taken to the street to protest, demanding that it be taken down by Christmas.
Peace on earth and mercy mine.
Armed with Bibles and even holy water.
It's unacceptable.
Protesters' emotions ran high today in Boca Raton.
We say no to the forces of darkness.
The people are very unhappy about this.
At the center of the uproar, a pentagram set up at Sanborn Square in downtown.
The satanic display at the Iowa State Capitol has been at the center of debate about free speech and First Amendment rights this week. Though the display was built with the state's full permission, many people have disagreed with the display's message, leading a Mississippi man to allegedly vandalize it.
Cassidy's arrested, and he's charged with fourth-degree criminal mischief. He's been released, and Americans are rallying behind him. How precisely did you decapitate Satan?
Pulled his head off.
Just pulled the head right off and let it crash on the ground.
Meanwhile, the Satanic Temple, that's based in Salem, Mass, is encouraging its followers to find Christian bakers and ask them to bake cakes honoring the Prince of Darkness as a show of support for gay couples who've been denied cakes for weddings.
The Satanic Temple is launching a telehealth abortion clinic in New Mexico on Valentine's Day. They are calling it the Samuel Alito's Mom's Satanic Abortion Clinic.
One group now challenging the law, the Satanic Temple.
Yeah, the non-theistic religious and human rights group argues its members should be exempt from the abortion ban.
The Satanic Temple has filed a letter with the Food and Drug Administration arguing that abortion is a faith-based right of its members.
The Satanic Temple is suing Idaho. The Salem, Massachusetts-based group says the state's abortion ban infringes on the rights of members who may want to practice the temple's abortion ritual.
There's a new lawsuit against Indiana's new abortion law filed by the Satanic Temple. The organization is suing on behalf of a woman who says her birth control failed and that she became pregnant, quote, without her consent. It claims that denying her an abortion goes against her religious beliefs.
Another challenge has been filed against Indiana's recently enacted more restrictive abortion law.
Now, this challenge comes from the Satanic Temple, a group that doesn't worship the biblical Satan, but believes in bodily autonomy.
Only heard of Comic-Con, but how about SatanCon? They're calling this the largest satanic gathering in history.
Satanism in schools sounds like the stuff of horror movies, but a US court ruling on religious freedoms has enabled devil worshippers in Florida to hand out educational material about their beliefs to kids at state schools.
The Satanic Temple in Orange County, Florida is planning to hand out satanic children activity books at some schools. That is in response to the school district allowing a Christian group to give out Bibles. The group says its whole point is to counter what it calls biblical indoctrination.
Students in the Rose Tree Media District are now allowed to wear clothes expressing satanic religious views.
How would you feel if your child came home from school and said they wanted to join an after-school Satan club?
Satan in the Classroom, a push to get an after-school satanic club going for grade school kids all around the country.
In recent years, the Satanic Temple has crisscrossed the country.
You may think it's cool to allow a minor to identify publicly as fringe weirdos and losers at such a young age.
Parents and pastors lashed out against an after-school Satan club's planned launch at Chimney Rock Elementary next month.
A lot of people have said, is this a hoax? Is this for real? How can a Satan club even be realistic?
You bring up Satan, you bring up Satanists, and you elicit a reaction. So I put it on my Facebook page.
Especially when you think about putting it into schools somehow, some way.
And with snacks and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I want to give you a look at the gathering here over my shoulder. The bagpipes have just started playing once again. This is all happening because the newly formed after-school Satan Club is holding an open house.
Several dozen people gathered for a prayer rally outside of Joyner Elementary School in Greensboro.
The rally was tied to the controversial after-school Satan Club.
Rebuke Satan in the name of Jesus Christ!
In Kansas, students have gathered more than 8,000 signatures to oppose the Satan Club. However, the club has met all requirements for registration. It's set to start in the coming weeks.
We don't want God in schools. We definitely don't need or want Satan in schools.
And this is the parental permission slip that they're handing out so your kid can participate. Here's the After School Satan website. They even have a children's book dedicated to this. Now, they say there are some wholesome activities and lessons to be learned, but others believe it has no place around children.
We do not worship the devil. We're not sacrificing goats or babies. We are simply having that equal access to the space that we have a right to.
At any level, Satan has no rights in America.
But parents of faith insist these clubs be canceled, fearing their children will be indoctrinated into worshiping Satan.
So what parent in their right mind is going to give permission to the Satan Club?
It's a very young children, and they're being used for political agenda or some kind of agenda that has no place in the schools.
People are wondering, why doesn't Chesapeake Public Schools just say that this club isn't going to happen with all this controversy? But if they don't allow this religious club, then they can't allow any other religious clubs. It would be discrimination for them to pick and choose what religious clubs they do allow at the school.
Emptied classrooms at a Chesapeake school today, and it's all over a proposal for an after-school Satan club. We've told you a group wants to use B.M. Williams Primary School to host that activity, but there has been backlash. Today, someone sent a bomb threat against the school.
Someone sent an email saying they placed a bomb within B.M. Williams Primary School, but also at the house of Chesapeake Public School Superintendent, a volunteer's house with the After School Satan Club, and an attorney's house representing the club.
After another bomb threat at the school for the second straight day.
A suspected arsonist caught on video lighting fire to a satanic temple in Salem.
A man is under arrest, charged with crafting a plan to bomb the Satanic Temple in Salem, Mass. Police say 30-year-old Luke Isaac Terpstra actually traveled here in November to survey the temple.
It really doesn't matter to us what your mythology is surrounding Satan. You need to ask yourself if your distaste over us identifying as Satanists is strong enough that you would abandon the principles of free speech and religious liberty.